What's up everybody? Before starting today's vlog, I would like to have an honest heads up with all of you because I know that when I started this vlogging thing, putting myself as the first poker vlog created to help you become a better poker player might sound arrogant for some of you, and I understand that, but that's not at all the intention I had. I read in a book called Tools of Titans that when I start something in business, I would rarely be the best in my field because there were people that were doing that for way longer than I am, and they would be better than me. They were into trial and error for a long time, and I didn't have the ambition to be the best in my first vlog. But the book said that I could try to be the first to do something. And so I always had results at poker. Thankfully, usually I feel like I am one of the best players in the table if I'm not the best. And I'm not trying to say that arrogantly, you know, it's just what I feel, and I'm just trying to be honest with you. So I really believe that I can deliver what I'm promising you, that is making you a better poker player. And I'm not doing that in an arrogant way. Like, I'm doing that in a way that I just want to show you what I'm trying to deliver, and hopefully I am delivering that to you. And I know that there are some people that already comment this in the vlogs that they are helped, and I'm really happy for you. That's really what I'm trying to achieve here. So don't think I'm trying to be arrogant, or don't make our relationship into a certain level of cynicism of what does this guy knows, you know. Like, I am not the best player in the world. I'm oftentimes not the best player in a 2-5 table, for example, but sometimes I am. And I know that most people in poker makes many mistakes that I can help them stop making. So that's what I try to achieve here. Today's vlog is one of my favorite vlogs, if not my favorite, because I know that you guys ask a lot, oh, do you play tournaments? Do you play tournaments? And oftenly, I don't play tournaments. In United States, I mostly play cash game, like 99% without any, not exaggerating, I'm not exaggerating, it's like 99.5% of the times I'm playing cash game. So today's episode, I played deep stack tournament, high roller here in Brazil, and I really think you guys will enjoy what you're about to watch. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say for now, and let's go to the episode. What's up everybody? We're back to another episode of Poker Profit Vlog, now playing a high roller event. And as I mentioned in the past vlog, I really prepared myself for this one. I knew that we would play deeper, so that's great for me because I'm playing mostly cash game for the last 4 to 5 years. So I'm really used to play deep stack. Another thing that I think it's important to mention is that if you take your poker game seriously, I believe you should also take your daily decisions in life seriously as well. For example, having a healthy lifestyle, working out, eating well. Those are decisions that are under your control to do it. And I know that many of you don't. And if you don't, that's gonna be bad for your results in life, inside and out of poker. So I definitely advise you to try to have a healthy lifestyle, working out, running. You don't need to be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm just saying for you to have a healthy lifestyle, having a healthy body, a healthy mind. I'm sure that's gonna help you a lot inside the poker tables. And if I'm saying that right now, it's just because that's what I believe and that's what I live in my life. I really want to live more than 100 years, hopefully. Maybe in 80 years from now we play together poker inside the metaverse, who knows? And this is only gonna happen if you take care of yourself. I was actually really excited for this tournament because I knew that the structure of this tournament would be pretty deep, and as I'm playing cash game for almost 3 years straight now, playing deep poker is where I feel more comfortable and is the tournament where I feel that my edge would be higher. And I wanted to run deep, I wanted to play good here in my hometown. It's gonna be a 30-minute blind, starting stack 120k, blinds 100, so you start with 1200 big blinds. I arrived to this tournament in the first level, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Welcome to the Poker Profit channel, the first poker vlog created to help you become a better poker player. My table seems to be pretty soft, and hopefully it's gonna keep like that throughout the tournament, which is nice. First hand I get pocket jacks, blinds are 300 already, low jack limps, I'm in the hijack and I'm gonna raise here. I raise 1200, 4x. Cutoff calls my raise. Limper calls as well, so 3 players see the flop. Flop comes king, 5 deuce, rainbow. I believe I'm gonna still be winning most of the times here. They don't have a lot of ace king. I don't think they will have king queen so often as well. And I block king jack. I'm gonna see bet to protect my equity. I see bet 1600, 1/3 of the pot. Cutoff folds. Low jack calls. We go heads up to the turn. The turn is a blank, a 3 of spades. He checks to me, and here I decide to check back, control the pot, and maybe open space for him to bluff in the river. River is a 7 of spades. Flush draw in the turn gets there. He checks to me again, and I have played with this player earlier in this event, and I've seen him limping with pocket pair hands, such as 8s, 7s, 6s, 4s as well. And I think I could extract value from pocket 8s, pocket 6s, pocket 4s maybe. And I decided to bet for value here. I bet 4k, he snap calls, I show the jacks, and he shows pocket 7s. He made a set in the river and check called, which is pretty weird. I wonder what he would do with 8s, 6s, 4s as well, but I love to see his showdown. In my opinion, he played pretty bad this hand, and we go to the next hand. Next hand, I get pocket aces in the under the gun. Blinds are 200, 400 with big blind ante. I raise to 1200. Button re-raises to 4k. He seems like a recreational player who is also really rich, which is great. I'm gonna definitely 4-bet here. And to make the situation even better, big blind calls. We are really deep here, so the sizing I'm gonna use is really important because we're playing 300 big blinds deep. I 4-bet to 13,000. Only button calls, so we go heads up to the flop. The flop is a great one. Queen 6-3 with 2 clubs. I don't have the ace of clubs. I'm losing mostly to queens. I see bet 16,500, little more than half pot. He calls. I'm really confident I'm winning here. Turns a blank, a 5 of spades. I got 80k left in my stack, and if I bet here, I feel like I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on him. And if I decide to check, I can see this guy betting pretty often. So instead of betting again, I decided to check and open space for him to bet, which doesn't happen. He quickly checks back. River is another blank, an 8 of spades. Now I'm definitely gonna bet. The question is how much. I go with 25,100. He quickly calls. I show the aces and he mugs. I honestly don't have a great clue of what he had. He was a nice guy, but played really bad. We're gonna play a lot more hands with him in the future. And if I had to guess, I would guess he has some type of Queen X hand, and we win a great pot in the beginning of the tournament. Unfortunately, we get a table change for a table that is not even close to be as soft as the table we were before. There are a lot of online players in this table, mostly in my left, and I know they are pretty solid. First hand, I'm in the big blind with ace-5 offsuit. Cutoff raises 1500. Button calls. Here, clear call for me. The flop comes a beautiful one. 2, 3, 4 rainbow. I have a straight. I check. Cutoff checks as well. Until the button bets 3k. I could go with a check raise here, but I decided only to call. Cutoff calls as well. 3 players see the turn. Turns a deuce. Pairs the board. Now I'm losing mostly to set of 4s and 3s, but I'm still most likely winning this hand. I check. They all check back. River is an ace, not a great card, but I can still extract value from ace-high hands, such as ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack. So I decide to lead. I lead out 7,500, around half pot, and then cutoff re-raises me to 22,000. Caralho. Button folds, and I'm in a really tough spot. Cutoff is a really solid player, and he could have set of 4s and set of 3s. I don't see him doing that with ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack though. There is a possibility he has a hand like mine, like ace-5 suited, and I would be tying with him. And I'm really curious with what does he have, you know? I gotta call 14k for a pot that has 44. There are gonna be some times that I'm chopping with him. Analyzing the hand now that I know the result, I believe a fold would be the best play, but it's really easy to say that after I know the result of this hand. I'm losing to aces as well, that there's only one combination in the deck. I call.
Uau. Olha isso. Era pior do que eu pensava, Cooler.
And he shows 5-6 suited. Huge cooler, especially in the flop. I could have lost even more in this hand, and I'm glad for it. And it happens, and we go to the next hand. We still have a pretty healthy stack, a lot of chips to battle, and let's go. Next hand, I'm in the big blind with 9-6 suited. Cutoff raises to 3,500. He's the same player from last hand. I call. We go heads up to the flop. Flop comes queen 10-7 with 2 diamonds. I got a gut shot and a flush draw. I check, he c-bets 3200. I have many 2-pair hands in this board, such as 7-10, Queen 7, Queen 10, and I know he's gonna be c-betting most of the flops here, so I decide to check raise to 11,000, 1200. He quickly calls, we go heads up to the turn, and we're really deep. I miss the turn, but I'm gonna keep betting here. The question is how much. I'm really thoughtful here about which sizing I'm gonna use. I decide to bet really big to make him fold pretty often to this bet. I bet around a pot-sized bet, 31,000. He folds and we win the hand. We have little more than 100 big blinds, playing for 4 hours already. Next hand I'm in the big blind, hijack raises 3600. Button re-raises to 10k, and I see ace-jack suited from the big blind. That was the first time button 3-betted hijack, and out of all the options I have, calling is the worst one in my opinion. I'll be dominated many times and out of position against both of them. So I decided to fold and go to the next hand. People in the table realized I folded a good hand. So next hand I'm in the small blind with king-jack offsuit. Hijack raises 3600, cutoff calls. And now I think I'm in a good spot for a 3-bet. King-jack offsuit is gonna be close to the bottom of my 3-bet range, but still, I'm not gonna just call from the small blind. I could fold if I wanted, but I rather 3-betting here, and I will represent a lot of strength doing that from the small blind. So I 3-bet 14k. Everybody folds and I win the hand. Next hand I'm in the big blind with 8-9 offsuit. Cutoff raises 5k. Blinds are 2k now. A button calls. 8-9 offsuit. I gotta call 3k for a pot that has 15k, so easy call. I make top 2 pair in the flop. I check. Cutoff c-bets 9k, half pot. Button folds. I'm definitely gonna check raise here. I did check raised on a previous hand with a semi-bluff, gut shot flush draw, and now I'm gonna do with an actual made hand. I check raise for 28k. He quickly calls, as he did last time. And now the turn is an interesting one, a 4 of hearts. There are 2 flush draws in the board, and I can see me doing this check raise with many gut shot flush draw, open-ended flush draw. And I would even say that most of the times I will be semi-bluffing here. But not this time. This time I have top 2 pair, which is a great hand. I will rarely be losing this hand. But I don't want to bet a sizing that he could call profitably in position against me with a hand like flush draw, gut shot flush draw, open-ended flush draw. So I try to be pretty mindful of which sizing I'm gonna use here, and I choose to go with a little more than 2/3 of the pot, 51k. He thinks for a while and decides to fold.
Nice fold.
I tell him it's a nice fold because he's a nice guy, plays for an online team of a friend of mine, and I like all of them, so that's why I decide to be nice and tell him he made a nice fold. Next hand I'm in the cutoff with ace-10 offsuit. It folds to me and I raise to 5k. Button 3-bets me to 16k. She is an online player that plays for the same team I just mentioned. I could decide to call or even 4-bet here, but I decided to give her credit and fold at least once for her. We have 160k, blinds 3600, so we got around 44 big blinds. You already know what this sign means. What is happening in this table right now is that both of the players in my right are playing really loose against each other, and I'm in their left, so I'm in a great spot to exploit this leak by both of them. Next hand I'm in the small blind with king-jack suited. Under the gun raises 8k. Hijack re-raises 24k. If the stacks were deeper, I could decide to flat this hand or even cold 4-bet, but with my stack size, I rather just folding and go to the next hand. Next hand I'm in the cutoff with 7-8 suited. Hijack raises 8100. He is one of the players I'm telling that is playing loose, but I believe part of exploiting him is playing a tighter range. 7-8 suited is great to see a flop, but I think that if I call, there are a lot of players in my left that might decide to squeeze, and I don't want to open space for them to do that. So I decide to fold again. Next hand I'm in the hijack with ace-jack's offsuit. I raise to 9k. That's something that I think you guys should see of how Brazil works. Like, when I was seeing this situation happening, I really thought, man, if that was in the United States, people would get shocked on what happened. But to be honest, what they did here was in a way somewhat friendly to me. And I didn't get mad at all with that. But I know that some of you might think that's bad, that shouldn't happen. But that's Brazil, I guess. Like, I really didn't mind what they did, but I know some of you guys might. And yeah, that's part of the Brazilian culture. Brazilians are less attached to straightforward rules. And maybe that's why we are in the spot we are right now, being a third world country and United States is a first world country. But I believe it was worth showing you guys that, because that's a big difference from both of the cultures. And yeah, they both call and we're gonna see a flop 3-way. Flop is amazing. Jack 9-3 with 2 clubs. I have top pair, top kicker with an ace of clubs. They both check to me and I'm definitely gonna c-bet. I choose to c-bet half pot. I think at least one of them will call me pretty often here, which doesn't happen. They both fold and I win the hand. Next hand, I'm in the cutoff with Queen 10 offsuit. There was a long time I didn't play any hand, so I believe my image was pretty tight. I raised to 10k, small blind and big blind call. They are both the same solid players I played before. The woman was actually the one who won the main event, which I'm pretty happy about that. I'm glad to see more and more women playing this game we love. And she is a solid player, so even better. Flop comes Queen 8-3, all clubs. They check to me, and most likely I'm winning this hand, so I'm gonna c-bet. I c-bet 21k, around 2/3 of the pot. They both call, which now I'm not quite sure I'm winning this hand, because I believe they would have many suited hands in their range, so they could already have a flush. We go 3 ways to the turn, which comes a great one for me. Now I have trips. They check to me again, and now I'm really with a doubt on what should I do here. As I said before, they have a couple flushes in their range, but they also have many flush draws, even queens worse than mine. They could have some pair of 8s as well. So here I believe betting or checking are both fine plays. I think if I had to choose between one of those, I would choose betting a little more. But if I bet, I would have to be willing to call in case some of them raise. But this time I decide to check back. River is an amazing one. Now I have the nuts. And when they check to me, of course I'm gonna bet for value. I decide to choose a sizing that I would do if I was bluffing. So I bet 55k. She calls, big blind folds. I show the full house. She shows ace 10 with the 10 of clubs, making a hero call in the river. I didn't like the way she played this hand, and we win the hand. We're in day 2, guys. 250,000 chips. The blinds come back. 2,500, 5,000 most likely, so 50 blinds. I'm in the exact, almost exact average stack, and let's go. We are in day 2 with a healthy stack, so let's go. My table seems to be pretty good, excluding the fact that my friend Marlon, who is a crusher online, is on my left, and my other friend Pirajibe is on my right. The other players are not good, so we are in a good table, and let's get it. First hand I get pocket aces, I'm in the small blind. Low jack raises to 12k. He is a pretty loose and careless player, so I know he's gonna be calling most of my 3-bets here. And I'll make sure I'll charge him well in my 3-bet. We're playing pretty deep as well. I 3-bet to 39k. He calls and we go heads up to the flop. Flop comes ace, queen, 9 with 2 spades. I make top set, but I'm not gonna check here. I believe checking would represent even more strength, because we both know this board favors way more my range. So even if I hadn't hit this flop, I would keep betting. So I see bet 31k, little more than 1/3 of the pot. He calls. Turn is a king. Now I'm losing to 10 jack only, which he has in his range, but he also has many other things. SPR is pretty close to 1, so I could choose to go with a shove, but I don't think it's the best option, especially because I would make many hands worse than mine to fold more often. So I decide to bet 61k, 40% of the pot. He thinks for a long time and decides to fold, so we win a great pot without showdown, which is nice. Next hand I'm in the cutoff with 8-9 suited. It folds to me and I raise to 14k. Marlon 3-bets me to 37k, which is a pretty small sizing. Everybody folds to me. In this spot I'm choosing between calling or 4-betting him. It was the first time he 3-betted me. As a spoiler, it's not gonna be the last. I gotta call 23k more for a pot that has 66. He has little less than 50 blinds. So I decide to call and see a flop. The flop comes ace, 9, 7. I got middle pair. And also a couple runner straight and flush possibilities. I check and I'm decided to call for any continuation bet he does. He c-bets 22k, 1/5 of the pot, which is weird, but great price for me. I'm gonna call here and see a turn. Turn comes another ace, which is great. Now he has less combinations of ace-x in his range. I check again and I'm gonna call again if he bets. He bets 40k now. He's making some pretty invitable sizings, which doesn't look great for me, but still I know he's capable of be bluffing and tell me a good story that he has an ace-x hand. So I call again. River is a 6 of spades. 10-8 would get there, which I have some in my range. I check again, and now he bets 85k.
Tu tem esse as mesmo, velho?
Now I separate 85k, putting my hands and really look at him, trying to extract some information from him. If he remains calm or if he's nervous. He's really telling a good story as he has an ace-x. He could have ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, ace-10, even ace-9, ace-5, ace-4, ace-3. He could have all the aces here, but still I know he's capable of be bluffing. I gotta call 85k for a pot that has 308k. So for my call to be profitable, I gotta be right around 25% of the times, which I honestly feel like I will be.
Rei, dama, vala, vala, tu não vai fazer isso, né? Tu vai fazer isso? Será com essas coisas? Não vai, mano. Não vai. Não vai. Será que vai? Se tu fizer eu te pagar, parabéns, velho. Caralho.
Não seja delicado.
Caralho, foda-se.
Por alguma coisa, pelo menos.
Porra.
If I call and I'm right, he will have still 105k in his stack, so that's around 16 big blinds. And I know him pretty well. I know he's capable of be bluffing. And if he was bluffing, he would still have a plan B in case it went wrong for him to have a healthy stack. If I call and I'm wrong, I will have around 14 big blinds, which is not great, but still pretty okay stack. So after analyzing my options, I decide to call. He said it's good. He shows King Jack offsuit. We show the 8-9 and we win the hand.
Quase, velho. Quase, foldei. Quase, foldei.
Next hand, I'm in the under the gun with ace king offsuit. I raise to 14k. Small blind 3-bets me to 50k. He is a recreational player who I believe is gonna be pretty value heavy in this 3-bet. So ace king offsuit, I'm gonna definitely just call and play in position against him. Flop comes jack 10-3 rainbow. He checks. I'm gonna check back. Turn comes an ace. He checks to me again and I'm gonna bet. I bet 37k, around 1/3 of the pot. He calls, river is a 9, he checks to me again, and here I just felt I didn't have so much of a value to bet, and I am losing for a lot of things, such as 9s, 10s, jacks, ace-jack, king-queen. So I decided to check.
Eu sou frouxo e curioso. Sou frouxo e curioso.
And he shows pocket 10s. He made a set in the flop and wins the hand.
400k, blinds, 4-8, 50 blinds. Let's go.
Subiu?
I'm the big blind.
4-8. Deixa eu fazer a contagem aqui.
Epa!
75.
Epa!
80.
Epa!
90.
Don't do it, bro.
100 mil.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, guys, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and let's see my cards. I like this guy, so if I don't have nothing, it's fine. But
Água foi? Não. O que é que é? O que temos? Qual? Olha que beleza!
gostou, né?
Ace queen versus pocket deuces. Let's see if we win another flip.
Opa, 3 aí. 3 pra cada um. 3, aí embaixo. Ai,
Vamos, Poker Pro!
Yeah, guys, 300,000 chips, blind 4-8. That's around 30 blinds. A little around that. Let's go.
Next hand I get ace king suited from the cutoff. I raise to 18k. Big blind calls, so we go heads up to the flop. He has like 54k behind, so most likely he's gonna shove any flop. Flop comes 4-4-8 with 2 diamonds. He shoves all in for 44k. I call. He shows queen 10. We're in great shape. Unfortunately, the queen comes and he wins the hand, and it happens. Next hand, I'm in the under the gun with pocket 8s. I raise to 20k. Marlon 3-bets me to 60k. He wasn't 3-betting me that often, and I believe his range from the under the gun +1 will be pretty strong. So after everybody folds to me, I decide to respect his 3-bet and fold, and he said he has ace-king afterwards, and I believe him. Next hand, button shoves 52k. My friend Pira calls, and now I'm in the big blind with 10-9 suited, having to call 42k more for a pot that has 124k. Pretty weird spot. I think my hand is too good for me to fold. If I call and miss, I'm still gonna have around 14 to 15 big blinds. So I decide to call and see a flop, which I missed it completely. My friend checks to me and I check back, pretty much giving up on this hand. Now I got a gut shot. He goes all in and I fold. Next hand, I'm in the big blind. Under the gun goes all in for 200k. Under the gun is Marlon, and I fold. Next hand, I'm in the small blind with 9-8 offsuit. They fold to me, and I decide to open shove 145k, and it goes through. With this stack size, I have to be able to move and open shove a couple marginal hands. I gotta be aware of good spot for me to open shove, and this is one of them. Next hand, I'm in the big blind. Hijack raises to 22k, and I see ace-queen suited from the big blind. Easy shove for me, and that's what I do. He calls, I show the ace-queen, and he shows pocket 8s. Another flip. Flop is horrible, and I'm all in, so if I lose this flip, I'm gonna be out of the tournament. Turn is pretty nice, a queen of clubs, but now I gotta fade any clubs, 6 or 8. River is close, but not close enough, and we double up. We're back to 350k. Now we have 35 big blinds. Next hand, I'm in the hijack with ace-7 suited. It falls to me, and I raise to 26k. Big blind is a loose aggressive player in the other side of the table. He calls. Flop comes ace-5-5. Great flop for my hand and my range as well. He checks to me and I decide to check back. There is almost no turn I don't like, so that's why I check back. And also I open space for him to bluff. Turns a 6. I know I'm still winning most of the times, and there is no flush draw in the board. So when he checks to me, I decide to check back again. River is a 10. Now he leads out 50k. I snap call. He shows 10-7 offsuit. I show the ace-7 and I win the hand.
Yo guys, as usual, I forget to eat, and I just felt bad when I got a acai ice cream. This is amazing, guys.
Man, sometimes that happens to me. I'm so focused on playing poker that I forget to eat. And I have to stop letting that happen, because that's definitely not good for my health and also for my game.
564k, 28 big ones. Let's go.
Next hand, I get ace-8 suited from the cutoff. We are 10 left in the tournament, and this table has 5 players and the other table has another 5. I raise to 50k. Marlon 3-bets me to 145k. They all fold to me, and now I'm really considering 4-bet shoving all in, but I don't want to do any stupid play right now, especially 10-handed. We're almost in the final table, and I also don't know how often he will be 3-bet folding here. If I shove, I'm shoving 520k for a pot that has 245, but I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm really considering my options. Ace-Ace suited is a good hand for me to 4-bet shove, but Marlon is a good player, and I'm not going to underestimate him. And we're almost in the final table. Pretty hard spot for me. But what happened right now is that my time bank was out, so I automatically was folded. And honestly, I don't know if I was gonna shove or not. I was really considering shoving.
Era por valor. Que sirva de consolo. Eu ia pagar teu.
Marlon said he had ace-queen and he was gonna call me. I'm glad I didn't shove, because otherwise I would be in a pretty bad shape.
We are on the final table. We have 450, 460, 469 in the blinds, and 20, and 24 big blinds. Let's go.
We are in the final table. I don't know how you guys feel about how I played, but I'm pretty happy with the way I played until now. And hopefully we're gonna run good. Cards are gonna come our way. and we get one of those beautiful trophies home. And let's go. One of the first hands, small blind limped, Marlon open shoved, small blind calls, and he lost a flip and he's out in 9th place. Couple hands after that, I'm in the low jack with pocket queens, under the gun raises to 40k, and here with pocket queens, I could either go with a 130k 3-bet or open shove, and I decided to go with the second option of open shoving all in. Under the gun calls, I tell him I have pocket queens.
Ah, não, velho. Puta que pariu.
He shows pocket aces, unfortunately. We need help. Not the worst flop for us. Turning river doesn't help, and we're out in 8th place. And we're also out in the bubble, because the prizes were starting at 7th place. 2 final tables in the event. Unfortunately, on both of them, I didn't run so good. Especially on the other one. I'm gonna leave the episode here in case you didn't watch it. After that, I came to the party. That's what Brazil has of the best part, are the parties. I have a lot of friends here, great people. I'm really privileged to have so many friends here. And the more I play poker, the more unattached to the short-term results I get. I got out of this event really happy, even though both of the times I lost pretty in a bad way. But I'm just getting used to it, you know? Poker is a game that provides you amazing moments, but will also provide pretty hard ones. And the more stable you are over short-term results, the better for you. In those pictures, you can see a couple of my friends. Those are all amazing people, and I really love many of the ones that you see there. And this is gonna be the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. The mission of this channel is helping you become a better poker player, and see you next time.